Alright guys, I'm back. I don't know what happened. The video just ended. I don't know why, but let's try to do this again, and I'll wait for people to jump back into this. Like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know. The video ended all of a sudden, but here I am again for round two. Let's see if things go smoother this time around. So we'll wait for people to jump back on again. Thank you guys for tuning back after that little, I don't know what that was. But it's RAIDER Ortiz again, trying this again. Um but yeah, what's going on, Jet Neil? But yeah, like I was saying before the live video previously ended. If we didn't go wide receiver, what I don't know. I guess what player or besides a wide receiver would you guys like to see to wear the silver and black that wasn't a receiver in that first round? Should we go defense? Maybe, because there is a lot of talented wide receivers in this year's draft. So maybe we can focus on the defense and then pick up some pretty solid wide receivers later on in the draft. I know last time when I was on here, I had commented that the whole Jason Witten thing really didn't make any um Jason Witten signing didn't make any sense for me. But if I kind of did a little bit of research, and Jason Witten, he knows how to run routes and get open, and that's something that we obviously need. I mean, yeah, um, we have Waller, but Jason Witten brings that veteran uh, player to and mentality to the team. Um, and 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 yeah, he can run routes. He can get open, and Gruden likes his veteran tight ends. I think in Tampa Bay he had Ricky Dudley and Ken Delgett. So Gruden's been known for liking his tight ends. You know, so once I did a little bit of research, I saw why maybe him and why he they brought in Jason Witten into the Raiders organization. You know, we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure they have a plan for him, and he's mostly just there to I think play Sundays. I don't think he's gonna do much practicing. I don't think they're gonna want to risk an injury to kind of suit up and play on Sundays. Let's see here who jumped on here. Janio, what's going on? Rude Boy Raider, what's going on? We've been waiting for it and leak number one receiver for so long. What is wrong with picking up two in the first round? Oh, I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm just saying, if we didn't, who would you all like to see wearing that silver and black? Just in case we didn't go wide receiver in that first round. Jerry Blackwell, what's going on, man? Thank you for tuning in. How about a monster defensive tackle? I mean, who'd you have in mind? Walter Ross Sr. says, I would like to see we pick up a couple cornerbacks. Yeah, defense definitely does need cornerbacks and some safeties. And Peggy Smith, were you referring to the Winton signing? And Raider Reaction's own Chris Montel says defense defense with a 12, offense with a 19. Who'd you have in mind? Pete says cornerback would be great. What are the players you all have in mind? Cornerback would be great, but what cornerback would you guys like? Pete, what cornerback would you like? Again, Rude Board Raider. I didn't say there was anything wrong with getting a wide receiver in the first round. I was just saying, hey, if we don't if Gruden and Mayock don't go receiver in the first round, who do you guys think that they would go after defensive wise if they chose not to go receiver in that first round, and they chose to um to help out the defense a little more, and then they choose to go for a wide receiver in the later round. But I seen some comments for cornerbacks that would be great. Um, what cornerbacks though? I read, I did a little research on one of them. It was a cornerback, Paulson Adebo. Paulson Adebo, from Stanford. He's a 6 foot, 190 pound guy. He had 4 interceptions, 10 passes defended. He did miss games due to injury, but from what I read and seen on film, he's pretty good. Um, another, I don't have my draft my mock in front of me. Well, shit, get to it, Chris. What are you waiting for? Yes, we have 2 first round picks. But like I said, if we do not go wide receiver with those 2 picks and we go defense, who would you guys like to see on that one? Dare says he would like to take wide receiver Jerry Jeudy in the first round at pick number 12, and he would take linebacker Kenneth Murray at pick number 19. Yeah, Peggy Smith, you're right. We could address both needs, but I think you're kind of missing my point a little bit. I'm saying excluding wide receivers, just defense. If we just go strictly defense, I'm just saying just to have something to talk about here. You know, um, what defensive guys would you guys like to see on there? Maybe Jerry Blackwell says maybe Derek Brown from Auburn or Kinlaw. Wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah. And I think that they need to probably get a running back. In somewhere in the draft. They need somebody to come in and help out Jacobs and Richard. Obviously, uh, Washington is testing that free agent market. He's still there, but one that really caught my eye was running back from Boston College, AJ Dillon. He's 247 pounds, and he can move. He can run downhill, and he can move the sticks. For short yardage situations, and he's also pretty good at reading the blocks and sticking to his assignment. Something that that Gruden really likes when a player can stick onto his assignment. Safety from LSU and Kenneth Murray linebacker. Wide receiver Ruggs and Lamb. Murray is solid and Pittman Jr. is somewhere in this draft. Packy says Smith. Packy Smith says trade up and get Justin Fields. Yeah, I'm all raised. Yeah, I've been watching a couple of the games for the Raiders have been on TV. Um, yeah, you definitely do need that Raider football. Just watching old games. Games that I personally went to, um, and just overall games, just to kind of and games. I've just watched games that I wasn't even born yet. Just to kind of see what everybody else was talking about. There says, I hope we're able to get Justin Jefferson from LSU as our other wide receiver we take in this draft. Gruden has had a history of feeding multiple backs. When he was with the Raiders, he had back in the day he had Tyrone Wheatley and Napoleon Kaufman. He had those two, and then later on he had Wheatley, Wheatley and Charlie Garner. So that you Gruden has had a little knack for having two good running backs in the backfield. It's the he likes to do that. It's kind of that little security blanket, where one can't get it going, maybe the other one can, and they just trade off back and forth. Rude Boy says he knows what I'm saying, but if we don't pick one of those receivers at 12, they will not be there at 19. Yeah, that's true. But one of the things that a lot of people seem to forget is just because they have this, their names are big and all these analysts are drooling over them, that doesn't always mean that they're going to pan out. That doesn't mean that they're going to be the star that they were in college. That's one of the things that you have to keep in mind. They can be a beast in college and then straight out be a bust in the NFL. So you never know what you're going to get. I mean, yeah, you can see that he does great on film, but once he starts making those pro debuts and he starts playing at that high level, how is he going to fare? Is the pressure going to get to him? Is he even going to be that good? It's a whole different level when they get to the NFL. So those big name players, you know, I think Mayak said, you kind of have to stay away from those big name players because they don't always pan out, and there's always those hidden diamonds in later on in the draft. I mean, look at Max Crosby is a perfect example. That guy was a steal in the draft, and so was Renfro. Those two guys right there were a steal, and they have done more than what they expected that they were going to do. Yeah, I agree, Brian Roberts. That's any player. It is like a box chocolatology because you don't know where you're going to get. So I mean, I don't know. For me, I mean, obviously the history that we've had with picking these big names in the draft and then them not working out. Going going for the speed. I mean, yeah, that's fine. They can be fast and have speed, but if they don't have good hands to catch the ball, or if they can't jump for it, then yeah, he can be fast all he wants. But if they cannot catch the ball or dive for it or make those catches that all the elite wide receivers do, then why even get them if they're gonna be mediocre wide receivers. exactly what I was trying to say there. The this draft is stacked with wide receivers. And with the draft that Mayock and all the Raiders organization had last year, you really can't complain about the picks. I mean, yeah, a lot of people didn't think that Farrell, you know, was worth the pick, but I mean, he's good. He's a damn good player. Um, we have other needs, and we can't lose. Like they're saying, we can't lose with any of the wideouts that there is. I heard somewhere on NFL Network that they're projecting 22 to 25 wide receivers being taken in the first 2 days. So I mean, that's just the amount of talent there is coming into this draft. For that many wide receivers to be projected to be going in the first 2 days, that's pretty crazy. Brian Roberts says Judy is the most NFL ready player. Great route running, great speed, and great hands. Can't pass on him if he's there. Well, at the end of the day, nobody knows what Mayock and Gruden and the whole front office is going to do. They might just do something completely opposite of what people want them to do. Jerry Blackwell, thank you for tuning in. Says the only quarterback I saw that could do like Mahomes throwing sidearm is Rich Gannon. Hopefully, we can make clutch quarterback play what Aaron Rodgers has for a long time with mediocre receivers. Yeah, exactly. And Amari Cooper was one of those receivers. He has had trouble, dropping the ball here, in games, and so I mean, he got paid a lot of money, and he's not even that solid of a wide receiver. I mean, yeah, he'll catch it here and there, but then he also has his drops. Walter Ross Sr. says, I like the way that John Gruden giving these veterans 1 year contract. I earned a backup. Is there any veteran cornerbacks out there that's looking for a 1 year contract? Yeah, and I all the contracts that were given out were well done. Some they were not overpaid. They were paid what they were projected to be worth paid. It's not like a lot of people think, oh well, they paid Littleton too much. No, Littleton was projected to get paid a lot more than that. And for me, I think the Raiders got him fairly cheap for the amount of tackles he got last year. I think he got like 121 tackles, something like that. And the guy is very destructive. He can cover a tight end, something that our linebackers struggled with last year. Very especially Tahir Whitehead. He struggled in coverage. He got lost in coverage, and the defense knew that just by watching his film, and they tore him apart when it came to game day. You know he couldn't stick to his guy. He was slow. Yeah, I mean he had a decent amount of tackles, but if you actually look at the film, Tahir Whitehead made the tackle after the guy was already 20 yards upfield. That still counts as a tackle on 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 his stat. So just because he made a tackle doesn't mean it was a tackle that was for a loss of yardage, or a tackle that was right at the line. No, these were people that were getting 10, 15 yards up the field, and then that's when Whitehead came in and made the tackle. And Tahir wasn't wide enough for I mean fast enough for those tight ends. He got burned a lot, and Littleton is one of those people who can keep up with those tight ends. But again, if you guys are just now joining me, Raider Ortiz, Big L couldn't do a show today. He's got other things going on. The commish also. So Raider Ortiz, stepping in for today. Um, just we all gotta help each other out when it comes down to this. We're all a part of this page that you all follow. So when those two can't do a show if they're too busy with their regular schedule, then usually I'm the one that they call and ask if I can do a show. You know, um, you guys probably expected Big L or Kamish, but instead you guys got this Mexican. And also today they had a little video call or whatever with Justin Herbert. I think that the Chargers did also. They had a little video call with the quarterback Justin Herbert. But I mean that's nothing new. That's just routine, I guess, and that's just what Gruden likes to do. But now with all this coronavirus thing going around, that's kind of how they have to kind of handle business as of right now. Even with the players who weren't invited to the draft, they're doing little interviews like that. But it's pretty much just a routine of they had a little conference call or whatever you want to call it, a little video call with the Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert. But but that doesn't mean that they're gonna pursue Justin Herbert. The Raiders also last year they met up with Kyle Murray and Haskins, and they didn't get any of those two. They just met and talked with them, but that doesn't mean anything. So I'm sure those rumors are gonna start flying around that the Raiders talked with Herbert and all that, and they're gonna looking for a quarterback. But we already have two quarterbacks, which is Carr and Mariota. There's that divide between people saying that Carr is gonna be the guy. A lot of people think otherwise. A lot of people think that Mariota is gonna come in and take that job um, from Carr. I'm kind of in between that. I'm kind of Carr needs to really to step it up, especially if we do get, um, if especially if Carr starts messing up, if he isn't doing great, if he isn't winning games, or he isn't doing that well, then I can see Gruden benching Carr and throwing Mariota in there. And I like Mariota. He can make a lot of good throws, um, a lot of very good throws, and he's also very mobile. Something that Derek Carr kind of lacks. We all know that he can run. Why he doesn't choose to run, I don't know. But he likes to stay in the pocket and find a receiver. And for me, if you can't find a receiver, with that quick scan of the field, for me, he should just either dump it out to the running back, or just run with it. Get at least 4 or 5 yards instead of getting -10 yards. And getting that sack. Yeah, a lot of people are gonna sit there and say, well, he didn't have a receiver. He had all these scrubs. You guys tell me when was the last time a quarterback went into a season having everything he needed, everything lined up for him. It doesn't happen very often, and he's getting paid well, to damn good. So so he can play at a high level, not play mediocre football. Little dumping runs, and yeah, he had a lot of yardage, but a lot of that yardage came from the players making plays. You know, yeah, he threw the ball, but then a lot of players had to break tackles and run up the field also. So you have to give the credit 50-50. Cam Newton going to Chargers, maybe, I don't know. My brother-in-law, he is a Chargers fan, and I did ask him, what do you think? Got to play the game. Some team might trade up for him. Who are you talking about right there on that one, Brian Roberts? Where you say got to play the game. But I think it's going to be quite an interesting little battle between Carr and Mariota, because a lot of people, I mean, they don't understand. They think that just because um, Dare says Chucky may take Michael Pittman Jr. His dad was his running back when he coached Tampa Bay. I didn't know that, Dare. I did not know that. See, you learn something new every day. Brian Roberts says, "Why nobody talking about the wide receivers and all the stupid?" Talking to Justin Herbert. That's just what Gruden likes to do. That's just what every team likes to do. They just like to sit down and talk to. I think all the players that were actually um, asked to come to the draft, they kind of just call each other and get a little feel. But like I said, it doesn't mean anything. Like I said, last year the Raiders talked to Haskins and Kyler Murray. Did they take any of those? No, they met up with them too. So I mean, it's just a little thing to do. The safety was Heath, Jeff Heath, I think. Jerry Blackwell that we got. I'm pretty sure it was Jeff Heath. Came over from the Cowboys. If I got the name wrong, my bad. He hasn't been. He's not even a Raider yet because he hasn't even played a game yet. So correct me if I'm wrong on that name, but I'm pretty sure it was Jeff Heath from safety from the Cowboys that came over that you're talking about. But I mean, the whole car Mariota talk, a lot of people like to get a little mad, I guess you can say. I guess a difference in opinion really doesn't go well with others. Just because talking to him could make a team trade up for Justin. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that a lot of teams talk to a lot of players. But that's just how little rumors get thrown around. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a little rumor saying that that they're going to be shopping Carr now that they talked to Herbert. You know, Carr and Mariota in 2016 form would be dangerous combo. Yeah, that would be a dangerous combo because the Carr from 2016 was more of a risk taker. He did run. If he if we had the same Carr from 2016 that we have now, I don't think that Mariota would be on the team right now. But it is what it is. Things happen for a reason, and either this is gonna spark uh, a fire in Carr's ass, and he's gonna get his shit together, or Mariota's gonna come in and he's gonna outshine him, and he's gonna come in there and eventually become the starter. Carr will start. I'm 98% sure that Carr will start the first game, but if Carr starts fucking up, and if he starts not making the team any better with all the tools that are already around him and the tools that are going to be presented to him from the draft, then yeah, Mariota will step in and he will take over reins, and I'm pretty. Yeah, Byron Roberts, I agree. Whoever wins games, that's my quarterback. Exactly. Um, you know, there's there was a lot of people who were mad when fans were angry at Carr, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, that's my quarterback. If you don't like it, you're not a real fan, or if you don't like it, go change teams." But these are the same fans who are now getting mad that we want to support Mariota. No, 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 no. Keep that same fucking energy that you had, where this is my quarterback. Well, hell, if Mariota becomes our quarterback, then you better have that same fucking energy too. You can't you can't be a fucking hypocrite and then sit there and say, "Oh well, Mariota's not my quarterback just because I love Carr more." No, fuck that. That's bullshit. But I have to agree with Brian on that one. Whoever wins games, if at the end of the day Mariota can win us more games, by his ability to throw the ball and also his ability to be a scrambler, then hell, I'll take Mariota. I would like to see my team go to the Super Bowl and win sometime soon before this fucking Corona kills us all. But I mean, yeah, it would be nice to see my team go to the fucking Super Bowl and win before I die. And if that means that we have to switch quarterback, then you're goddamn right. I will get behind that. But all right, well, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Just came on here, talk with everybody. See, I know there isn't really a whole lot of news stuff to talk about. So, you know, that's gonna be it for me for tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Um, Stay tuned for the morning show. We have the Kimmish will be back tomorrow, or Big L will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys for the continued support. Um, like I said, stay tuned for the morning show, 7 a.m. Uh, Tune into our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously here on Facebook. Follow us on our social media platforms. Go to www.RaiderReaction.com. If you want Raider Reaction gear, go on there and buy yourself a little something to rep the Raider Reaction team. But this is Raider Ortiz, and I'm out. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and there, thank you. And I'll see you all next time whenever I'm called upon. Raider Ortiz, and I'm out.